Hey, how do you deal with imposter syndrome, especially when it's your boss? Kurt Mortensen here. This is Maximize Your Influence. Just finished the podcast at MaximizeYourInfluence.com. Also on Spotify, iTunes, and iHeart, where I took a deep dive into imposter syndrome when it's affecting you or your ability to persuade and influence. Here on this channel, I supersize a little bit about what we talked about, this imposter syndrome, especially when it's your boss, because it's very difficult to lead that boss, to influence that boss, to work with that boss. And so what is this imposter syndrome? It's when people feel like a fraud, even though they have the competence and confidence. They just don't have that confidence to do it. They always feel like they're fake, that they just can't make it happen. And so they feel like they've been promoted too many times, that they don't have the confidence to do it. And it's the big factor for men and women. Now, these studies used to show that women had more than men, and that's not true. It's just that men don't admit it because we're ashamed. We don't want to tell people that we feel like a fraud, and that can be a huge issue. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about why this is such an issue. 70% of the people suffer from this and just don't admit it, to where we just don't feel quite up to it. And we're the manager, we're the boss, we're supposed to make the decisions, we're supposed to be in charge, we're supposed to be perfect. I know that's a challenge. In fact, HBR, Harvard Business Review, did an article on what CEOs are afraid of. This was done by Roger Jones. These are the top 5. Right? I don't know if we need a drum roll here, but we'll start with number 5. Top 5 CEOs around the country, around the world, what they're afraid of. Number 1, appearing foolish. Number 2, victim of eternal politics. Number 3, appearing weak or vulnerable. Number 2, the fear of underachievement. Number 1, incompetent solutions. This is an issue. Got to be careful. All those are esteem-related, ego-related, imposter-related that we have to work with. So how do you work with someone like that they're stuck? You know they don't have the self-esteem. You know they're suffering from the imposter syndrome or Peter Principle, which is where you're promoted one too many times. You're promoted to incompetence. You were good at what you did down here, but not up here. That could be a challenge. So let's talk about a few things that you can do to deal with a boss that has this imposter syndrome. Now, if you have it, which statistically you probably do, go to Maximize Your Influence and listen to the podcast because we talk about how to solve that. Also at MaximizeYourInfluence.com, take your free Persuasion IQ assessment, access to freeinfluenceuniversity.com, the free edition, and Maximum Influence. If you want to get the free edition of that, go ahead there and pick up a little shipping and handling. Of course, hit like, subscribe, tell your family and friends and enemies. But let's get into it. Let's talk about number 1, don't get defensive. Don't take it personally. People treat you how they feel on the inside. They're feeling terrible. They're not competent. They're going to be exposed. Hey, don't get defensive. And let them know that you've got their back, that you're there to support them, that you're there to help them look good. You don't have to say, hey, you imposter syndrome. But if they feel that you've got their back, that you're there to help them feel good, and you're not going to get defensive at every little jab, every little negative comment, every time they don't accept your ideas, that's all part of the imposter syndrome. Number 2, be a partner. Don't be a victim here. Why me? Why do they treat me this way? That's not fair. Treat yourself like a mini CEO, that you need to lead the leader, that you need to take them down that path, help them look good. Again, that's a huge piece. When they sense that, when they feel that, you can move on. I mean, you got to decide at this point if you want to work for this person, but you can lead them down the path and help them pass this situation. Number 3, be consistent. This type of person needs to trust you. They need structure. They need reliability. They need something that they can hold on to, know that they can do decently. They need to have those little victories that they know that they can do. When things are out of control, new and different, new challenges, new problems, that really accelerates that imposter syndrome, and they go in a downward spiral. Number 4, be professional. Resolve the issues. Work it through. Again, don't get all out of control with this and upset that it's happening to you. Just be professional here. You're calm, in control. It's not bothering you, and you can move on. Number 5, communication skills. Your ability to listen and figure out why they're saying it. What's going on? Oh, that's imposter syndrome. Oh, that's why they rejected the idea. That's why they won't listen to me. That's why they don't want to do anything different. Oh, that's why they're afraid to try that. Imposter syndrome. So listen, ask questions where, well, why do you say that? Have you tried that before? What do you think? What's the biggest thing holding you back there? Those type of things to lead them down the path to help them realize you're on their side, but you can really peg what the challenges are and help them really understand it's not that big of a deal. Maybe they need to make that change when you're trying to persuade and influence them. So this is real. Imposter syndrome for you, 70%. Your boss, 70%. And there's a lot of cover-ups, a lot of challenges, and this can really hurt the culture of an organization and really make it difficult to persuade someone because they're so stuck on their low self-esteem, their imposter syndrome. What if they get exposed? they're not thinking about anything else. You got to get past that so you can persuade and influence them. Powerful skill that you could learn, understand human nature and why people do what they do. We've learned more about the human brain in the last 10 years and the last 100 years combined. In fact, you want more information, more materials, more training, go to lawsofpersuasion.com. It'll make a huge difference because everything you want in life's on the other side of persuasion. Do it, master it, and persuade with power.